Hello everyone, this is Jennifer. Today we are going to start out with our next chapter in Principles of Event Management, which is Public Relations. So moving on to public relations. So what do you mean by public relation? Generally public relationship is nothing but having a better communication or having a better understanding with the other party. That is what is the meaning of a relationship. So public relationship, what do you mean by public relationship? So having a good understanding or maintaining a good relationship with the public. But who's going to maintain a good relationship with public? It is nothing but it's the organization. So putting that across as a statement, public relationship is basically a planned and a sustained which goes on for quite a long period of time to establish and maintain goodwill. Goodwill is nothing but a good reputation about the company in the minds of the general public, which gives us a mutual understanding and a better relationship which exists for a long period of time between the organization and its general public. A public can also mean customers, it can mean the society, it can mean the investors, it can mean the external parties, anyone who has a connection with the company's growth. So basically a public relation just not is a narrow term, but it's a wide and a broader concept. So in order to have a good public relationship, one company needs to build up awareness about its company, and the awareness should provide a favorable image about the company to its clients. So the media channels will have close monitoring about the numerous aspects that the company is holding up or the company's products. So you have to basically provide a good reputation about the company. Only then the public relation will ultimately increase. So the definition of a public relation. So public relation basically emphasize more on a successful establishment of the company. Definition of public relation. Public relation is a management function which tabulates public attitudes, defines the policy, procedures and interest of the organization, followed by executing a plan of action to earn public understanding and acceptance. So it is also part of the management function which takes into consideration of the public attitudes, and you're going to define your policies and procedures of the organization with adherence or with reference to the public understanding or acceptance. Your plans and procedures should be in a more flexible manner, and it should be in a more competitive advantage or a beneficial manner for the society. For example, if it's a corporate social responsibility you consider, there are certain companies which completely go eco-friendly or protecting the environment, go green concept. Why do basically they do it? In order to protect the interest of the customers or the general public and give them the awareness about the environment, about the earth, about bringing back the nature into a much more greener world. So this provides a much more goodwill in the minds of the customers to have a better picture of the company. So that will adhere to a long-term relationship with the company. So this is the definition of public relation. Next, nature and form of public relation. Public relation basically is more adhering to any kind of human activities like commerce, education, health, local government, social services, anything that needs to be understood, and it should use public relations and communication. It is just not a single way process or a one way process. It is a two-way process leading a two-way communication between the organization and the public. There are various features of a public relation. The first one is managerial function. The public relation function is always recognized as a managerial function, and it acts as a unifying force within the organization. It builds unity among the teams who are working within the organization to coordinately work towards having a better public relationship. So an organization can also have a better relationship with its employee only when it's had a smooth flow of relationship or a smooth flow of communication with the employees. The objectives can be done or achieved much better. Point 2 is link with the public. Handling public opinion and obtaining feedback is one of the most important function of the organization. So basically, when you're getting a feedback from your audiences, you're supposed to act accordingly to it, and when you act accordingly to it, your results in building trust and good faith among the public will ultimately increase. So you're just not going to have a link with the public, but also you're going to maintain a good relationship which builds the trust of your organization on the general public minds. The third one is maintaining goodwill. So goodwill is nothing but the reputation of the company. Goodwill is an intangible asset which cannot be seen and felt, but still it acts as the majority of part in your success of the organization. So in the long run, goodwill always pays to the organization. In the early days, business industry could function in total secret without any kind of public relation, but public relation skills always helps in increasing the goodwill of the company. The next point is value add. Public relation acts as an added advantage no matter what an organization is. So it gives a better productivity, or a public relation person helps in bringing out cooperation or coordination among the staffs. The last point, business policies. Basically managing the strategy and skills of communication in the business policy and decision making. Public relationship also is an important part of the organizational behavior, which decides on the methods of communication and how to use it and the way to use it and the way to communicate the policies and procedures of business to the general public in the more fruitful and effective manner. The next one, importance of public relation. So the importance of public relation. So what are the importance of having a good public relationship by the organization? The first one is marketing tool. So public relation basically helps to get to know what products or brands which are demanded or which are expected by the target audience. Public relation experts are hired by every organization to basically provide its products and brands popular among the masses. So when you produce a product according to your target customers, obviously the demand for the product will increase, and when there is a better understanding, there is a free flow of communication between the organization and the target customers, which acts as a main tool for survival of every business. So when you have a better relationship and when you have a strengthened relationship, it will ultimately increase the brand image and the brand loyalty, and which will ultimately increase the profits of the organization and the consistency or the sustainability of the organization in the market. The second one is information gathering and dissemination. So it is very essential for every organization to understand the needs and expectation of its target customers. So when you have a proper connectionship with your target customers, information can be easily shared or interacted, or feedbacks can easily be gathered. So at that time your products can be scrutinized and made according to their expectations. Point 3, develop credibility. So when public relationship is used as a tool for efficiency, it allows us to gain credibility for your business. So business transactions with financial organizations for acquiring financial resources for the business. So when public relationship basically helps us to have financial parties in a better relationship with us, and we can have a better negotiation and discussions with them, which will ultimately improve our liquidity and credibility position, and which will lead us for a better competitive financial advantage in the market. Employee relations, point 4. So having a good sense of employee relationship by keeping everything updated to the employees, and the channel of communication needs to be provided in such a way that is easily communicable, and there should be smooth flow of communication, recruiting new employees, handling reorganization, getting into relocations or mergers. So in all such thing, public relation acts as a main tool and gives them confidence and helps them to improve their performance and work effectively for the organization. Point 5, government and political public relations. So public relationship helps in organizations interact with the government, legislators and other group medias. So public affairs can also be used to interact on policy and legislations with government, etc. An organization must always have public affairs which are communicated about their policies and procedures to the investors, regulatory public, employees, internal public, communities, customers, and very importantly, government. The last one, community relation. An organization should always be seen as a good citizen. Only then it can improve its goodwill in the society. So it should adhere to involve itself in various corporate social responsibilities. So our next topic is media. So media, what do you mean by media? Basically, media refers to the various means of communication. It basically refers to different channels that are used to transmit, store or deliver data or information from one place to another place, or from one person to another person. It is basically used for the masses. So there are various kinds of medias like television, radio, newspaper, etc. The medias are basically classified into two categories. One is the mass media, the other one is the personal media. So we'll look into each media separately. The first one is newspaper. So newspaper is one of the traditional mediums which are used by businesses to advertise their business. So what are the advantages of using newspapers as an advertising strategy? Is it allows a company to reach a huge number of people in a given geographical area. It has a flexibility to change your ad size and placement. It is free help in creating and producing ad copy is usually available, and the company's ad can be as large as necessary to communicate as much of the story as the company carries to tell. What are the disadvantages of having newspaper as an advertising tool is ad space can be very expensive. There's poor photo limits creativity. Newspaper a highly visible medium, so the competitors can quickly react to the prices offered by the company, and it has a very short shelf life because they read it only once, the customers. Moving on to the next type, which is magazines. Magazines are more focused, more expensive alternative to the newspaper advertising. It is also a written form of communicational strategy. So what are the advantages of using magazines? So it also allows us to have a better targeting of audience, as a company can choose which magazine publication that can cater to its specific audience. The high reader involvement, better quality paper, and the smaller page permits even smaller ads to stand out. What are the disadvantages of having magazines? Is long lead time mean that the company has to make plan weeks or months in advance. So basically planning out before months together to have their own picturizes in the magazines, and there is limited flexibility in terms of ad placement. The space are quite costlier. Next, moving on to the next one, which is radios. Radios, as we always get fascinated by it quite reaches a mass medium, and everybody gets commercialized in a radio. Running the commercial once a week or for a month is not enough to get a good business. A radio commercial needs to be aired many times before it sinks in with the listener. So basically it do have its own advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages of having a radio as your communicational strategy is it basically have a universal medium. It can be enjoyed from anywhere at your place. It permits you, the company, to target your advertising spends to the market most likely to offer. It helps to have creative help, and the rates are quietly negotiable. It covers 95% of the Indian territory, and 90% of the overall population can be customized according to the region and region. What are the disadvantages of having radio? Listeners cannot refer back to your ads to go over important points. They cannot turn back to ads. Once it goes on, they keep listening it, and it is not as fast as using phone or internet. The line can go fuzzy or not clear for the audiences to listen. It can only be an audio medium. You cannot see a video of it. Radio listeners are spread over many stations to totally saturate the market. You have to advertise simultaneously on many stations, so you cannot get to know your target customers. So next is televisions. Television is nothing but which basically prefers both video and the audio form of advertisement. So basically advertising through television helps us to have a better communication with your customers. So what are the advantages of having television is it permits to reach a large number of people. Independent stations are not really, and cable offer new opportunities to pinpoint your local audiences. The televisions basically build image building and visual medium, and it acts as a better conveying of messages with sight, sound, motion, like which involves both your video and the audio. But what are the disadvantages of having television? Is message is very temporary. Preferred ads times are often sold out far in advance. So before in advance only they book of what ad needs to be sold, needs to be put up. Relatively very expensive in terms of creativity, etc. Very limited length of exposure. Ads or network affiliates are concentrated in local news broadcast only. The next one is direct mail. So direct mail basically refers to direct marketing. Directly mailing includes catalogs or other products or sales letters with brochures to your customers. It is also a form of marketing technique. What are the advantages of direct mail? The advertising message is targeted only to most likely to the one whom the customers preferred by the company. Marketing messages can be very personalized. It helps us to provide a better positive response. The company has total control over the presentation of the advertising message. And what are the disadvantages of it is some people do not like receiving offers in their mail and throw them immediately into without even opening the mail. Long lead times are required for creating, printing and mailing. Can be expensive depending on the target market, quality of list and size of the campaign. So resources need to be allocated in the maintenance of list. Producing direct mail materials entail the expense of using various professionals like your copywriters, artists, photographers, printers, etc., whom you need to be employed in the organization. The next one is telemarketing. Telemarketing basically refers to telephone sales, marketing your product through telephones or mobile phones. What are the advantages of it? It is very easy to prospect and find the right person to talk. You can find out who your customers is. Results are very highly measurable, because you will get to know while talking itself, are they interested to buy your products or not. The company can get a lot of information across while talking out. It provides a venue where the company can easily interact with the prospective customers. It helps in expanding the sales territory, etc. What are the disadvantages of it? An increasing number have become averse to telemarketing. You cannot basically reach out to a large number of customers. More people are using technology to screen out unwanted calls, particularly telemarketers who will be blocked out immediately. Lots of businesses use telemarketing, so it is not very competitive. Government is implementing tougher measures to the telemarketers. It can be extremely expensive because telemarketing is basically outsourced to our call centers, and may require high professional to be well crafted and effectively scripted to telemarket your product. And if you're hiring an outside firm to do telemarketing, there's lesser control in the process, that the people doing the calls are not your company employees, so they don't know about your products. It is most appropriate for high ticket retail items or professional services. Last but not the least, we move on to online advertising. So online advertising is a form of promotion that basically uses the internet or the www, which is a world wide web, to deliver the marketing messages to attract the customers. So what are the advantages of it? It has a wide coverage. You can easily identify your target customers. It is very affordable. It is easy to track and measure the conversion. It is very measurable than the traditional advertising method. The speed is very quick, very informative, very flexible. Payment can be added advantage of online advertising and market. It gives us a better return on investment. It is very audience engagement, and it helps us to have a better branding and structural control over the brand or over the organization. There are various other medias which are left out, that is Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages refers basically to Yellow Pages are telephone directory of businesses which are organized by category and in which advertising is sold. It has several forms of yellow pages that the company can use to promote and advertising its businesses. So these are the different types of media, and there's one more that is SMS advertising, or SMS marketing, wherein you're sending a short messaging service or text messages to the people to advertise about your product. So one of the primary reasons behind this growth is that text messaging has been increasing as a business tool. Text messaging enables the information to be sent to groups of people quickly and conveniently in much more way than email. So the next one is media management. So every business organization just not advertise for the sake of advertising, but they advertise to get most return for their investment. It is very, very important for any company to choose the right media of communicating about themselves with the customers, so that ultimately sales will increase and they can select the best market plan in order to select the right media to send out an advertising message, which will ultimately increase the profits of the organization and the sales of the organization. So media management relates to the management or processing, which may include editing, capturing, compressing, copying, moving, deleting and manipulating the media files, which cannot be media files. With the growing media files, with the growing events, every emerging company should understand how to edit, capture, compress, copy, move, delete and manipulate its media files in a better way. The business promoters are constantly facing the need of media management, managing the media, and they look to the web and associated tools to make the best out of their business. So it is very important to manage the media content in such a way that it results in attracting the right customers with the right amount of information provided in the online media or offline media, which basically attracts the masses and which is quite crisp and which fascinates people to get back to your products. Public relations strategy. So, and also the media management, how basically a media manager will decide about media management is basically depending on the featured events, the coverage of featured events, the photo gallery, the albums, the videos, the music, the social media integrations, the small surveys that's going to happen, the advertisement tools, etc. The next is public relations strategy. Public relations strategy is, it basically helps a company to organize the public relation activities and make strategic decisions about the best way to communicate about the organization to its target consumers in order to increase the profit and build brand awareness by increasing your profile in the social media. So to get started with your public relations strategies, there are very few steps. One is the determine goals. When creating a public relations strategy, it is very, very important for an organization to outline the goals and objective for what they want to achieve. If they are coming up with launching a new product or new services which needs awareness in the market, then they need to position their product or services in the market. So goals must be very, very specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely. As I told you all earlier, it should be a SMART goals always. The second one is determine your target audiences and participants. So get to know who are your target audiences, whether it's individual groups or communities that will influence and decision making power over your products or services. They are the ones they are going to trying to attract or sell to them, so that the people you want to communicate with. You can find a target audience by thinking about who would be interested in hearing about your business. The third one is determine the key messages. You can include the key messages in your written and spoken communication to convey a specific message about your business to your target audiences. The best messages are believable, easy to understand, very distinct, very drive to agenda concepts. The fourth is develop tactics. Tactics are the activities that help one to achieve the business public relation objectives. If we use the example of raising awareness of a new product, one tactic may be distributing a media release. This would be sent to publications relevant to your industry and target audience with the goal of securing an article about the new product or new services. So the other tactics would be public speaking, email writings, etc. The next is determine the time frame. You should always put a time frame around each tactic to ensure that they are completed in a timely manner. Point 6 is measure success. It's very important to measure the success of a PR strategy. The measurement tools or set key performance indicators should always be around in order to achieve, and you should measure your success by getting to know your goals, which is set on time frame, and you need to keep monitoring it and need to maximize your success. The last one is action plan. So after comparing the goals with the action plans taken, the company should analyze the causes and deviations between your achievement and your goals desired, and suggest suitable action plan to design a strategy in future to make it more effective and productive and much more successful. The next one is brainstorming. So brainstorming is nothing but coming up with creative conclusions through creative ideas. So brainstorming could be the perfect solution to the problems which we are not able to handle up sometimes when we run out of ideas. So the successful public relationship is sustained and needs a constant stream of ideas that keeps making it going. Brainstorming is very well known but often poorly practiced technique for developing new ideas. So basically, things to be considered for an effective brainstorming are as follows. The first one is group size. The maximum group size to have a brainstorming should be 8. Second is strength in diversity. Basically, it should have a good mix of people from different backgrounds and expertise. Only then you can come up with different kind of ideas. The third is objective, and when there are people from different background, they'll have different world of views and experiences. The third is objectives. Basically, very briefing about the clear or the core objective that needs to be understood by everyone, so that everyone may get together and work out a solution with understanding the main objective. Fourth is catalyst. Consider introducing stimuli such as objects, music, pictures, colors, etc., so that it will help them to have a much creative and innovative thinking process. The next is idea generation. So write up every idea so that everybody can contribute to the pros and cons of each ideas. The next is equality. In a brainstorming session, everyone are equal. No one is higher or no one is valued or respected with the higher positions. Acknowledgement and encouragement should all contribute to every person. Next is quantity, not quality. At stage, we need to maximize the number of ideas, but in detail we refine into the quality and refinement of ideas. The next is spontaneous. The instant idea is often the scene for the sensible strategies. You should keep getting ideas just like that in your fingertips. Encourage people to think out of the box. Turn ideas into their heads. The next is time frame. So close the meeting when the stream of ideas dries up, and write down each idea and whistle down and convey another group with different people with different kinds of ideas. So the last is freedom. Allow freedom of thought and expression. Only then it can build up much creative ideas. So the last topic under this chapter is writings for public relations. So written communication is an essential part of a successful public relation plan in order to maintain a long and healthy relationship with customers and the general public. So it basically, importance of written communication would include having a good clarity, the continuity, the collaboration with the other statement, the broad appeal to the general public, and the referrals about the image and improvement of the companies. So the writings for public relation will always include the following. The first one, it includes press release, the announcement of newsworthy events sent to the media or posted online. The second is pitch letters, letters sent to the media providing story ideas. The third is newsletters. Newsletters are sent to key persons, customers, investors, etc. to foster a positive relationship. The fourth is social media. Social media is basically connecting through your online social media websites. Point 5 is email. Email are basically help to communicate important message to the audience. It is a one way of communication or a two way of communication, basically targeting your target audiences. The next is greeting messages. Corporate houses must always maintain long lasting relationship with its clients and customers by sending notifications and greetings too during the festival season. Next is blogs. Blogging also helps us to discover via social media. Every time you write a blog, you post, you create a content that people can share on social networks. Next is remember to link. Always provide links to your website so that people can connect to it. Next is journals. Certain journals known which are globally acceptable. It may help us to keep ahead of the market curves. Next is books. Books influence the mindset of the readers to understand and communicate to the power of the audience. Last but not the least, it's newspapers and articles. It is an important mode of developing public relation as it helps us to reach out to massive readers. Thank you everyone.